Hello again. I'm sorry to keep going on about the hysteria being whipped up currently in Britain about a few sunny days in July, but this really is a matter of life and death. So it's only right to draw attention to the misdirection now being used to trick the general public, or lead them down the wrong path, one might say. This is being done without the telling of actual lies. And it's only when we ask ourselves one or two questions that the deception becomes apparent. The first thing to remember is that excess deaths, mainly among old people, tend to happen in the winter rather than the summer. In plain language, a lot of old people, tens of thousands of them, die from the cold during the winter. The number of excess deaths each winter, that is to say the number of deaths more in a 3-month period than in the 3 months before and after the winter, is typically 20 or 30,000. Most of them are among old people. They don't all freeze to death, of course. A lot of them die of flu and so on, but often these deaths too are connected with the cold weather at that time of year. However, of the typically 30,000 excess deaths in Britain in winter, about a third are directly due to living in a cold home. This means that if the homes were warmer, fewer people would die. It also means that if more homes get colder, then more people will die in the winter, most of them old people. What about excess deaths from heat waves in this country? How many extra people die from very hot weather? In 2003, the figure was 2,234. In other words, cold kills 4 times as many people in this country every year as even the worst heat wave does. As usual, I give links to these figures in the description to this video. What this means is that because of the mania at the moment about climate change, Britain refuses to use its own oil, gas or coal, but instead imports it all from other countries. This is very expensive, and recent events have caused the prices to soar. The net zero agenda to reduce emissions of greenhouse gases means that a lot of windmills and solar farms are being built. The cost of these is being added to our gas and electricity bills. Let's engage in a little prophecy now. Since around 10,000 people, most of them old, die each year in Britain because they live in cold houses, what do viewers think the effect of all those horrific rises in the cost of gas and electricity will have on pensioners? I think that they will use less gas and electricity because they're worried about paying the bills. And I think that will mean that there'll be more and colder houses. Is that a fair guess? What effect will this have on the number of excess deaths in winter? Yes, that's right. They will rise. In other words, we are sold the net zero strategy on the grounds that it will save the lives of our children and grandchildren because it will help stop the planet heating up too much. What we are not told is that it also means sacrificing the lives of our parents and grandparents. Here's another simple question. If Britain really did warm up a little, so that it was warmer all year round, would this mean fewer or more cold homes in the winter? It would mean fewer, yeah? What would be the effect of that on excess mortality in winter? Fewer people would die because of the cold. If only discussions about climate change could be conducted honestly and with people telling the truth, then it would be a very good thing because there are so many interesting points, beginning with this one. If the temperature in Britain really did rise by 2 or 3 degrees, would this be a good thing or a bad thing? Would fewer or more people die prematurely? Until we start asking ourselves questions like that, I can't see that there's any point at all in taking any action on climate change at all.